the outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2 with but one inning more to play. And then, when Cooney died at first and Burrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to that hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought if only Casey could but get a whack at that. We'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did also Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more there rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches, black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of the storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him, kill the umpire," shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew, but Casey still ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two." "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echo answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold, they saw his muscles strain, and they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer has fled from Casey's lip, the teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate, and now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright, the band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light, and somewhere men are laughing and little children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville, mighty Casey has struck out.
The two best sides played off in the grand final for sure. I think we were lucky we got them game one. Then they were in a little bit of damage control after that. They were probably hurting a little bit more than we were with their pitching staff, and that gave us that opportunity to come out today and then wrap it up.
Yeah, anytime we can come and win. You know, there's not many times in your life when you can win a championship at any level. But to do it, you know, in what is effectively the second top league close in the country, and now I'm awfully proud of all my guys, the team and the club as a whole. We deserve this win, and you know, we were rightful winners in the end.
It's rolling out those cliches, but I think all season it's been a team effort from everybody. If somebody hasn't done something one day, another guy stepped up and done something. Tristan Pinkster, to me, an absolute standout in the final series. Hit the ball on the nose probably 20 times that he went to bat or something like that. He was an absolute standout. The pitching staff, they were very, very good. They did what they had to do. They kept us in every game in the final series, which was great. And everybody just had, everybody somewhere during those 6 games did something to contribute.
But today's game we come out, banged out 16, 17 hits, and anytime you do that, you're going to have a pretty good chance of winning.
He's been very inclusive of all that, what he calls his squad, all year. He's been inclusive with those guys all the time. So for him to have that many guys on the bench didn't surprise me. I didn't know. I thought it was going to be a bit hard to manage, but the way he did it was great. And to get 16 guys into the game today in an 8-1 win is a super effort. Super effort.
During the course of the year, we've used 29 different players in our ones. Now, I'm sure there's no other team in the VBA or anywhere in the country could say that they've used 29 different players in their first 9 at some stage during the year. So we've had contributors all through the order and all through our grades. Great from the very first game. Once we got into the final, we just thought our job to a degree was done. So our main goal for the season had always been to get to Division 1. And the championship was a bonus after that, so we kind of were able to relax a little bit, knowing that no matter what, we were in Division 1 next year, and we could just concentrate on the game. So a lot of the pressure that was on during the semi-final was lifted in the final, which might seem weird, but that's how it was, because we were now a Division 1 club, but we had this opportunity to all of a sudden win a premiership, and it was just a bonus. And the guys played much more relaxed kind of baseball. They weren't as tense as what they were in the semi-final, and I think that showed in the outcome and the result. And then I guess the key one for me, probably Brock today, through a whole complete game, 1 run, win the championship. You can't speak highly enough when a guy throws 9 innings, gives up one run and wins a championship. It's just amazing. It's been a fantastic year. I'd like to thank everyone for all their work, the whole committee. I'd like to thank Cam Gleeson for all his work with multimedia stuff. That kind of thing really helps advance our club, and we're looking forward to going into the next season as a Division 1 club and staying there for a very long time. Thanks. Thank you, mate.